Welcome to sunny Winter Haven, Florida. I'm Lane Dawg Bowers, and I want you to realize that you are greatly blessed, highly favored, and deeply loved. And today is the third video out of 5 on this book that I'm reading, and I want to share with you is The Go-Giver, recommended by someone in my mastermind group, and just a fantastic book. And the third, we've talked about 2 laws already, and I want to go over those with you just so you know. And hopefully you're doing the homework right along with me. This is for me as much as it is for you. But if you remember, the first law for stratospheric success is called the law of value, and that is your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. So I hope you found a way in whatever you do to just give a lot more in value than you do in payment. This is what increases your worth to other people. Now listen, one thing I want to keep in mind, because I like to keep everything centered on God's truth in the Bible, is that as Christians we know that our worth is in Christ. It's not on our performance, it's not in what we do, but by whose we are. And because we're the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus, we are greatly blessed, highly favored, and deeply loved. So always make sure that your worth is centered on Christ. But when you know how deeply you're loved and how greatly you're blessed because of Jesus' finished work, you should be filled to overflowing, and for that reason give much more in value than you take in payment. Not because you're doing it as a strategy, but because you love to give, because you've been given so much. Now, the second law of stratospheric success is the law of compensation, and that states that your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. So I hope yesterday you found a way to serve more people. Find a way, any way of the people you're serving. Just make, just like Jesus came, he said not to be served, but to serve. He was our example. Find a way to serve others. And the great thing about this is you are in charge of your income. If you need more money, find a way to serve more people. Find a way to serve people with greater intensity and passion and quality. That determines your income. You simply serve more people. And like I said yesterday, Martin Luther King said, all of us can be great because all of us can serve. I'm paraphrasing that. But today I want to talk to you about something I really love, is the law of influence. And the law of influence states that your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interests ahead of your own. Now, if you think about it for a minute, what would the world say about influence? If you ask most people, what determines influence? And most people would probably say something to the effect of, money, power, long periods of a great accomplishment. But really, that's in reverse. Influence creates those things. Those things don't create influence. Okay? So one of the things that's critical to this is developing a network of people. Okay? Not as a strategy, because you're trying to get things out of them. But listen, I love the way they describe this. A network is not necessarily mean your customers and your clients, but it's a network of people who know, like, and trust you. That might never, they may never buy anything from you, but they know, like, and trust you, and they have your best interests at heart. Why do they do this? They do this because you do the same for them. You've got their best interests at heart. Now, if you've got people who are personally invested in seeing you succeed, there will never be a limit to how much is coming into your life as far as prospects, as far as customers. And the way to do this, how do you get to that point? How do you get to the point where where you get personal walking ambassadors who are going around thinking of you? They're not necessarily buying for you, but they got you on their mind. And the way you get this is by stop keeping score. Stop keeping score. See, the world system is, we talk about, 50-50, a win-win situation. But you know what? I learned in here, and this is so true, is that's a losing proposition. It's a losing proposition, and I'm preaching to myself right here. This is a losing proposition. One thing I'm going to really try and do, you know, and I'm going to make this my homework today. I don't know if my wife will watch this or not, or my kids, but stop making it about what's even, what's fair, so that you both win. Go 100%, okay, stop keeping score, go 100% in on your family, on your customers, on your clients. And when you do that, when you put their interests ahead of yours, the law of compensation will guarantee that when you stop keeping score, when you put their best interests at heart, when you do whatever you can to help them succeed, there is no possible way that you will not create great influence and a fantastic group, a network of people who know, like, and trust you and are going around talking about you. So today, my goal is, before my head hits the sack tonight, is I'm going to find a way to put someone else's interests ahead of my own and be 100% invested in their success. That's the law of compensation. Why are you doing it? Are you doing it as a strategy? No. Do it because you love to give. Do it because make this a life pattern for you, and base it in God's truth. God's truth is, like I've told you, the greatest truth that you can know as a Christian is that you have been made righteous by faith. So you're the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus. You're greatly blessed. You're highly favored. You're deeply loved. That's what I'm trying to pound in here. And that when you're filled to the brim of knowing that, you can go 100% in on someone else's best interest, put them ahead, and watch what happens. Good measure, pressed down, shaking together, running over, men will give unto your bosom. Because give, and it shall be given unto you. So I hope this inspired you today. Find a way to go 100% in and put other people's interests ahead of your own, and just watch what happens when the law of influence is going to work for you. God bless you today. I'm expecting a miracle for you.